What makes a championship team? I need feedback from you guys. What makes a championship team? What are some things that a championship team might have? Yeah.
Confidence.
Confidence. All right, remember that. We're going to talk about confidence. What else? That's good. Culture. Okay. Give me one more. Confidence, culture, and let's say teamwork, right? Working together is teamwork. All right. What does confidence mean? All right, so you said it, so hold on. What's confidence mean?
Like having, well, I was going to say confidence, but...
All right, cool. It's okay. I'm proving a point. What's confidence mean? All right, so the reason that I asked that is because we can talk about confidence, but if everybody has a different definition, we're talking about different things. Okay, so let's simplify that real quick. Confidence, it's real simple. It's the memory of previous success. All right, that's how you are confident, because you've been successful in the past and you're leaning on that to be successful now. Right? Which is why practice is so important. Okay? Now, another way that confidence is important is because it's actually a skill. Confident people practice it all the time. Right? Anything that you're good at, it's something you do over and over and over again with success, right? So let me ask you this. Let's see. When you say, I'm good, are you building confidence with that statement? Why not just say, I'm average, man? I'm average. You see what I'm saying? So, all right, let me ask you this. So, confidence, what was the other one? We had two more. Teamwork was one. Culture. What's culture?
Having a family as a team.
Family as a team, coming together as a team. All right, cool, that's good. What else? What else is culture?
How we do things.
That's the one right there. Culture is simply how we do things here. That's what defines culture. All right, so as I sit here and I look at you, some of you sit taller in your chair. Some of you are slouched down, right? Culture would be like the best teams. Culture is everything that they do. It's the way they get dressed. It's the way they sit in the classroom, the way they sit in the chair, the way they make eye contact, all those things. Believe it or not, when I spoke last year, I told a story about Michael Jordan and eye contact. And my media team put a clip out. It's been watched over 1 million times, me standing right here, talking about Michael Jordan. And you wouldn't believe the amount of, I'm going to call them Karens, that thought that it was horrible that I told young men that eye contact was important and a sign of respect. They gave me all the excuses as to why, well, they got, ADD, and they gave me all the reasons that a person couldn't look me in the eye for 45 minutes, right? And it's so simple. What is one thing that somebody out here is trying to do right now to get better at their baseball game? What's one skill you're trying to get better at to improve your baseball game?
Hitting.
Hitting? All right. So how are you trying to get better at hitting? You're hitting? All right. So if I wanted to get good at shooting a gun, would I just pull it out and close my eyes and go, am I getting better? How do I get better at something? Practice. Well, again, I'm practicing. Don't I got to aim at something? I got to aim at something. I got to have a target to set, right? So what I do for companies is I go out and the first thing I figure out is what problems do you have and what are you aiming at? What are your targets? Once we figure out what their targets are, then we figure out a strategy to get there. And then we have to have things that they can measure to decide if they're doing good. Like, I want to lose weight. Well, how do I know if I'm losing weight or not?
Check yourself on the scale.
You weigh yourself. You got to have something that you can measure. So anytime you're trying to get better at something, you have to have ways to measure your journey to get there, right? Now, but I want you to do one thing for me. My son is 15. You guys might see him this year. He's a freshman. He plays for the Knights Academy team. I love it because I remember I have my sister, his aunt, is always trying to do something. And one day he looked at her and he said, Nicole, would you try to get a glass of water or would you just go get one? People that you're going to notice this, people that are always trying to do something, they never do it. They're either doing it or they're not doing it. So stop trying and just do it. Does that make sense? Check this out. Teams win and lose together. All right? As a coach, as a consultant, it's really important that you know that like what the team goal is and how do you manage everybody's expectations on that team. All right, so I asked 2 questions. How do you guys, and I want to hear from most of you on this question, how do you decide when this season's over, how will you decide if this was a good season or not? You would say, you had to look back and I had a great time, I was happy with that season, right? So some of the answers might be wins and losses. We might hear playing time, right? We might hear, I got to hang out with buddies, right? So how do you measure, who's my seniors today? I'm going to talk to the seniors for a minute. How do you measure, personally, you, if this was a good season or not?
I would say, like, looking back on last season, if it's progressed over, like coming together as a team. So, like, since we are a third-year program, like, each year progressing and only going forward into building something here. So I wouldn't really put it on wins and losses.
Yeah.
As much I think is, like, are we moving forward as a program to become that?
Okay, good. Who else? Who's another senior? Go ahead.
Kind of like he said, just growing but mostly as a team, trying to build like that culture and starting something new that we're doing here at Liberty Creek and just making sure that we're growing and building a foundation for teams to come.
Beautiful. Who's another senior? Go ahead.
Exactly what he said, just progression.
Good. Guess what? Teams that are all working on the same thing together usually do really well, right? So who's another senior?
Pros and cons. Cons outweigh my pros. It was a bad season. Pros outweigh cons. It's a good season.
What would be an example of pros versus cons, right? So again, like I asked my son's 15-year-old travel team these same questions, all right? Some guys were like, well, what's best for me in my baseball journey right now is I need to develop, which means I need to play to do that. So if I end up sitting the whole season, that's not, I would say that wouldn't be a good season. And then at the same time, some guys are like, dude, it's all about if we win the championship, if we win the championship we want to win, that's what makes it a good season, right? So what are some pros and cons to you?
Con for me is I can't play. I'm injured.
Okay.
Recovered, so that's my con. My pro is I get to hang out with my boys in the dugout.
Boom.
So
Excellent. All right, what's another senior I didn't hit yet? You? Go ahead. Both of you, got you.
If we just like set an example of the people younger than us, like coming up too, like if like 8th graders came to our games and whatnot, they should like we show them like how it's done,
That's
how
right.
we act.
Okay, good deal. What about you?
Just like getting closer with everybody and seeing how well we can work together throughout like the whole year. And how
All
we
right.
do as a team.
That's good. So you heard from your seniors, right? So check it out. Some of their answers were the same, but not all of them were the same, right? So do you know what will make this a good season for you before the season starts? Have you thought about that? Right? So how does your GPS work? Everybody, all you guys probably use a GPS on your phone if you're driving. How does that work? Explain to me the process from start to finish to use the GPS.
So you gotta open the app.
Yep, that's right.
You gotta type in the location where you're going.
Yep. All right. So what'd you just say?
You gotta type in where you're going.
Okay. So you got to give it a target.
Yeah.
All right. Then what happens?
Click the quickest route.
All right. So you
Whichever
do
route fits you best.
whichever route fits you best.
And then you click it.
Yep. And then what happens? What can that change mid route in the journey? All right. What would be some things that change that?
Detour, a train, a red.
Got it. But did the target change? All right. So again, you probably didn't plan on being hurt, did you? Right? But the target stays the same. And now all you're going to do is find a different route to get there to help your team get there, just because maybe you can't make that impact on the field. Right? Guys, like every team in the big leagues is full of great players. Yet, how many games? The White Sox lost 100 games last year with big league players. How does that happen? Right? Our own football team here, are they good? But every player's good. They got there. So how does that happen? What's the difference between a championship team and the worst team at the highest level? How well they work together. Common goals. You see what I'm saying? And the best teams are the ones who are able to do that. Okay? So, but again, like you also want to have accountability. Right? So again, if if you know his goal and you see him making choices that aren't going to take him there, you guys can help hold him accountable. That's why team sports are the best, because you have built-in accountability. But if nobody knows what's in it for you, how can they hold you accountable? If nobody knows what you bring to the table, how can they hold you accountable? My son's a freshman. I ask all of his 15-year-old teammates. They're all freshmen or 8th graders. Dude, if you get a spot on the varsity squad, I can promise you, you're the last person the coach is looking at. So one, how do you get recognized? And two, if there's something that you're good at, that you're better at than everybody else, at some point in time, he's going to be looking down the bench for somebody to do exactly what it is you're good at. Does he know that that's what you're good at? And whose responsibility is it to tell him? Whose is it? Whose responsibility is it to tell him? It's the player's responsibility. It's your responsibility, right? It's called a relationship, guys, right? You guys all have relationships here, and you have relationships with your coaches. And I can promise you, you guys probably have, if not the best staff in town, they're in the top 3. Your facilities, they got to be the best. I ain't never seen anything like this at a high school. It's unreal. You guys are blessed beyond belief, right? But I heard from the pastor say from the pulpit not long ago, he said, gratitude and entitlement cannot coexist, meaning you can't be grateful for something you're entitled to. All right? What is the common goal of this team? What is the goal of this season for this team? What is it exactly? Win today. Win a region. Is that the common goal? Does everybody know that? Is everybody bought in on that? All right. So if everybody's bought in on that, then when you look back at this season, was it a good season or not? It'll be based on that one thing. Now your coaches can manage your expectations, right? But again, if that's not true for you, would you be honest and man enough to say it? Think about it. The coach's job is to write out a lineup card, but they're writing down your action and your results. They're just writing down what they see. Is the coach's job to put you in, or is the coach's job to win ball games? So, and by the way, I as a coach, I can promise you, I like some players more than others. That's hard to hear sometimes, right? It's just we're all humans, and that's natural. So, but again, whether I like you, I love you, or whatever, if my job is to win this ball game, that really doesn't matter, does it? But if you're hard to like, man, it's hard to see good in somebody when that happens. You know what I mean? So is anybody here entitled to anything? What are you entitled to? You're at a better facility than I ever played in until I got to AAA baseball, right? And you're in high school. It's unreal. It's unreal. So what are you entitled to? Let me ask you this. What are you grateful for?